I'm about to share with you, excuse me, my 5 favorite things about like my last 4 years of camping in a van.
Hi, pretty thing.
These are some of the hottest, the coolest, the coziest, the most awe-inspiring moments I have known. It is painfully hot.
Hi, baby.
I hunt these kinds of spots down. Oceans, lakes, rivers, creeks. I've stayed at all of them. And then when you add some of the other elements of those trips, like the adventure of dealing with two-tire roads for the first time.
Important desire fulfilled as soon as possible.
It is wet and muddy, and it's going to be very interesting.
The Dakotas were so generous with their space. I mean, I stayed at places that were more beautiful than the campsites that you pay a lot of money for.
We are going to move to higher ground because it's supposed to rain again today.
Like Lake Audubon wasn't the greatest fun for me because of all these feelings. But once I got to like the next place where it was really fun, which was Hidden Wood Lake, I felt a little bit more confident. And then when I got to the next one after that, which was Wolf Creek, it had like this steep hill that went down like this, and rain was coming. And again, I didn't know if I'd just drive down the hill or if I would slide down the hill.
We are on top of the world. That's what this is called.
Theodore Roosevelt National Park. It was the grasslands, and it was this area that everybody camps at. And it was some crappy roads to get to it that you had to like, they weren't as bad as some of the other ones, but like when you don't know, you don't know. But everyone sort of had their own hilltop, and you could see for miles, and there was all this wind, and it was also like 102 degrees, which was harsh. but these giant, expansive, open areas were just the coolest thing. I stayed at the grasslands for like a week, and then the other was the wall, which is above, is at the Badlands. Okay, Sammy's barked at every dog here, and there's many dogs here. They're all better behaved than you. People used to just park anywhere, and it was kind of destroying things. And it's like a ledge that drops over, which Sammy enjoyed walking on, and I did my best to avoid. So they now have like posts, and you can only like park at the posts. So that was the Dakotas. I love them. I will go back. And when I go back, I'll go, like I went to Yellowstone, and I hated Yellowstone, but the next thing I'm going to talk about, I loved about Yellowstone. There's this one buffalo who was just like sitting there. I think they call it a dirt bath. He was so beautiful. I loved it. And then I got to this place where this entire herd was crossing from one side of the area across the highway. And it must have been an hour where they just walked along the street, and I like had eye contact with a bison like right beside my car. But that was like the most amazing thing. And then the other place where there were amazing animals was Assateague. It was my favorite place on the planet before North Dakota. And now they're a pretty close tie.
That is Billy Bob. The other Pinto, brown and white, is the mare. That's Susie.
Oh.
The little one with them, he doesn't have a name yet.
Is that the mommy and daddy to the little one?
Yes, and that's a male. That's a colt. These three are from the previous years. They're her boys.
You're in this place where these horses are just walking through the campsites, and just grazing, like not paying attention, not threatened by any of us, not even interested in any of us. That was number 3, and number 4 is.
Look how far up they go.
Anyway, that was my waterfall thing. I love seeing them. I love seeing like hot springs and like water doing magical things. Like it's just such a like cool thing. But my last thing is my most exciting. This one actually is like the best. This was a bucket list item. Except I always imagined I would be on a horse.
I just went for the most amazing bike ride on the beach.
Not good for a bike at all, but very good for my soul. And I ended up like, treating the bike with anti-rust and like making sure I didn't destroy my bike. But it was so worth that ride. That was my 5 van life moments. They all felt so exhilarating. They all like stretched who I was. Was it the Grinch that said my heart grew 10 sizes? It's like you feel like you grow 10 sizes. Thank you for watching, and hit the subscribe or hit the like or just come back. Bye.